Hey Renegades, it's Dennis Fassett, the Cashflow Mercenary. Welcome to week 10 of the Renegade blog. Renegades, my post today is about doing work on rental properties yourself. And I'm going to tell you that from personal experience, that is a really bad idea. Why? Because most of you are no good at it. Most of us are no good at it. And secondly, most of us don't have the time. And third of all, most of us have better things to do with our time than spend it doing paint and carpet and rehabs or turnovers or stuff like that. I learned this quite a few years ago, and it's always stuck with me. You know, my first rehab or my first rental, I bought, and it took me 7 months to do a paint and carpet rehab. 7 months, paint and carpet rehab, and put a vanity in the bathroom. I didn't even do the carpet myself. It just took forever, because I did it all myself. I painted the cabinets in the kitchen. I spent, in automotive, we had a shutdown during Christmas break. I spent the entire shutdown painting the cabinets in the kitchen. It took me 7 freaking months, but I was going to save money, so I did it myself. You know what? I figured conservatively, I lost 4 months worth of rent. The house was renting for, I think it was $800 a month at the time. So I lost $3,200 in rent, obviously less the mortgage payment and blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking that probably with $200 a month cash flow, I lost $800 in total from doing that. I lost $800 of profit I could have put in my pocket by doing it myself, because it took so long. You know, I could have had it done easily in 2 months by paying somebody else and broke even on those months, in terms of what the revenue lost, $400, $500, $600 or whatever, and then put another at least $500 to $700 in my pocket easily. But nope, I saved money on the rehab of this house. It's just really stupid. And this goes especially if you've got a day job. If you've got a day job and you're doing the rental stuff yourself, it's just it's silly. It's absolutely silly. You've got better things to do with your time. You ought not be taking time away from your paying day job, because they're not going to like it, especially in this economy. They're not going to like it if you're splitting time like that. And secondly, you got to be spending time with your family as well. That's your second priority. And doing painting in a rental property is probably the last thing you ought to be doing, because it's probably the least best use of your time. Now, I will tell you though, there are times where you got to go do some of the stuff, and that's fine. Do that on an exception basis. I got one of those right now where my guy is swamped doing something else, and I may have to do a couple little small things over at one of my houses, and that's totally fine. I can do that, but but again, it's a couple small things. It's not going to take me 6 weeks to get it done. It'll take me one evening after work or something like that. That again is my limit. But otherwise, it's I just write checks for stuff, because it's a lot easier to do that, and it's a lot better use of my time to do that as well. And I think it is for you too. So again, if you've got a day job, especially if you've got a day job, and even if you don't, you ought not be doing the rental turnovers yourself. You ought to be paying somebody to do it, unless your rentals is your full-time business and you've got 1,000 of them, and that's just all you do. Then perhaps that's the best use of your time, and then go ahead and do this. So otherwise, if you're again got a day job and this is not your full-time gig, then you ought not be doing any of this kind of stuff yourself. Write checks. And if you don't have the money to write checks, we'll talk about that one in another installment. This is Dennis Fassett, the Cashflow Mercenary. Thanks again for tuning into the Renegade blogs, and we will talk again real soon.